evening, good afternoon. My name is Thomas T. Canarian, and you are watching our latest Mailjet webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today? My name is Thomas T. Canarian. We're gonna have a good time today, y'all. All right. So first and foremost, Email Academy, unlocking the power of email marketing. We've got some amazing guests today. It looks like we're missing somebody, but they'll probably trickle in here in just a moment. But first and foremost, you've probably seen her before. Julia Ritter, our senior email marketing manager from Mailjet. Julia, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. All right. And then we also did have Natalie Lynch, our senior product manager from Mailjet, but I'm not sure where she went. Let's see what happened here, y'all. Give us just a moment here. Hope everyone's doing. Let's see where everyone is from in the chat. I want to see what location everyone's coming in. What time of the day is it? How's your day going? I want to hear about it. Let's see. Let's see. Heck yeah,
Ooh.
Minnesota, London, lots of cool people.
I love this.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Good to see everyone. All right, while we're waiting on here to see what happened with our other presenter here. Good to see this. Good to see this. Okay, cool, everyone. Well, while we wait on our other presenter, let's talk about some housekeeping stuff, everyone. So, welcome. We're on our new platform. We're super excited about this. A lot of fun stuff that we're going to be doing on here on our new platform for Mailjet. And also, we'll be bringing some Mailgun webinars to you as well, and some other stuff as well. So, first and foremost, I bet you've noticed we've got some polls, we've got some Q&As and stuff like that. So later on, we're going to have a Q&A portion once we go over the webinar. That'll be towards the last portion once we kind of go over through on the basics of email marketing with our wonderful presenters. So that'll be a lot of fun. First question. Someone asked, will this be recorded and sent to attendees? Yes, this will be recorded. It should be populating on this same page about 30 minutes after the event is over. All right. So like I said, come right back here, 30 minutes, go eat some lunch, go eat some breakfast, go eat some dinner, go take a nap, maybe go do work. Maybe that part's not as fun. Yeah, go do all that fun stuff. Looks like Nally is making her way back over here, so we're hearing back from her. So she should be over here just a moment. But yeah. So back on the Q&A portion. If you see our Q&A section, you can submit a question there. I highly encourage our viewers to upvote the questions that are more pertinent to the subject because we got to stay on topic. And two, our wonderful experts have to make it back to their jobs because, that's what we do for a living, right? Right, Julia?
No, just kidding. I have lots of emails to send today, so.
So if you've ever received an email from Mailjet, most likely you probably received it from Julia. So yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, while we wait for Natalie to make it back in here, let's ask a poll question, shall we? Let's use some of this stuff. All right. So we're all here to talk about email marketing, right? Obviously, because we want to unlock the power of email marketing because it's powerful. So first and foremost, let's ask a question, shall we? Everyone, what's your level of email expertise? I'm curious. Let's see those votes. I want to see.
Mad email scientist.
I think
Not
Julia's
one
a
vote
mad
for
email
you.
scientist. There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Mad email scientist. Love it. Cool. Someone's been doing this since 1998. Wow.
Awesome.
Cool. I love it. And shout out to the people that are actually at work right now. Love it. And that's what we're doing right now too.
We don't have Jedi Master.
Let's see. Someone put Jedi Master. Love it. Cool. Awesome. Love seeing. So it looks like we can even throw some of this up on here really quick. Cool. So this is what some people are saying so far. What's their level of expertise? We got some beginners. We got some intermediates. All right. 105 so far for intermediate. 53 for beginners. Wow. Advanced 34. Okay, we see y'all. And about 9 mad email scientists.
Oh, it's going up to
It's going. There we go.
Love to see it.
Love it.
But the good thing is, it never hurts to go back to the basics, which is why we're here. So
exactly, there's nothing wrong with constantly learning. I love learning, that's why we are here to help learn. Okay, it looks like we're still waiting on Natalie here. She had a complete browser completely just die on her, y'all. That kind of stinks, but it's all right. Cool, y'all. Okay. Oh yeah, it's still growing, still growing.
Do we want to do one more poll and see what people want to use
Heck
email
yeah.
for, just as we go into this?
Heck yeah, we can. So let's go ahead and stop sharing that one. All right, y'all. Here's another poll for y'all. All right, y'all ready for this one? We really wanted to deep dive into some of the uses, because there's tons of uses in email marketing, right? You could be for shoot, it could be for anything. So let's go and throw this poll out here, shall we? So I'm gonna go and close that first one. Let's open up this next one, shall we? All right. What do you want to use email for? Newsletters? Nurtures and lifecycle? Brand nurturing? Transactional emails? Or good old internal emails? We'll see those numbers in just
The
a minute.
ums are the honest ones. That was from me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just don't know. I didn't think it was going to be that useful. It's kind of a joke, and I love it.
There we go.
Yay!
Hey, there's Natalie. Awesome. Let's see here. Oh, now we can't hear.
You are muted.
That's all right. Hey, technology, it happens.
It really does.
Still not able to hear me?
There we go. There we go, Nelly. Love it. Love it. Awesome.
Had to switch entire computers.
Hey, technology, it happens, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you got to meet our lovely senior email marketing manager, Julia. So now you get to meet Nally Lynch, our senior product manager from Mailjet. Nally, how are you doing today? Thanks for making it in here for the whole journey.
I'm doing well. Yeah, the senior product manager for Cinch. And luckily, I have multiple computers available.
There you go. There you go. No worries. No worries. So we were running some polls before you got in here. So we were asking people, what's your level of email expertise? We got 89 votes for beginner, 145 for intermediate, 42 for advanced, and 11 votes for mad email scientist, right? And then let's throw this one that we just did right now. What do you want to use email for? So people got 85 votes for newsletters, 45 for nurtures and lifecycle, 16 for 43 for brand nurturing, now 44 for brand nurturing, 35 for transactional, and 4 for internal. So lots of good stuff here.
Love to see it.
Love to see it, y'all. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go and step out for just a moment and hang out in the crowd. But I'm going to go and let our lovely presenters go and take over and teach y'all the fun about email marketing. I'll see y'all in just a little while. Take care.
Bye, Thomas. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, so we are going to get started. All right, so we're here to talk about the unlocking of the power of email marketing, which, as we all know, it's a great tool. But let's talk a little bit more about it. Okay, now that Natalie's here, Natalie, do you want to give us a little bit more about yourself?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, my name is Natalie, and I'm the senior product manager for Mailjet. I absolutely love dogs, and I absolutely rely on Julia for all of my podcast recommendations. To date, she has not let me down. I have very vivid dreams about email marketing campaigns that I am still trying to convince Julia to do. To date, she hasn't, but I will win one eventually.
Yeah.
I've been in development and product for about 10 years as well. So that brings us to today here at Cinch Email Marketing.
Love it. Yeah, I'm Julia. It's so hard to give you an elevator speech of yourself. So we're just gonna that's why Natalie and I were let's just give some crazy facts. I also love dogs because who doesn't? But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat and I need to stop because I'm gonna get distracted by y'all.
The person asked me about Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get on a tangent there. I've been in email marketing for, I think, 8 years. I tried not to calculate it, but, it's been a wild ride. So I've seen it all, I just found out yesterday that Natalie also hates eggs, and I just needed to I felt very seen. So I just felt the need to put that in here so that, if anyone agrees, we can join together.
We're going to create an egg-hating club.
Egg-hating club.
Carly's going to join us.
And like There we go. If you have received any emails from Mailjet, Mailgun, EOA, or Inbox Ready, that is me. You're welcome. So I'm glad you can finally put a face to your name in your inbox. All right. Okay, so let's start with, what is email marketing? Like, what a loaded question, right? I mean, if you're talking to some people like my parents, they're asking you this and asking you, isn't it just a copy, paste, and send? No, right?
My
Like,
parents also don't know what email marketing is.
what do? Don't you just send emails for a living? I'm like, yeah, I do, but it's much more than that. I put the definition on here, but let's face it, while we're going to go through the email marketing basics today, email is anything but basic. It's a channel that allows us to combine creativity and analytics for a truly unique channel that allows us the highest ROI. Sorry to the other channels to disappoint them, but we can also build and nurture relationships, do personalized messaging. There's a lot of opportunity. And of course, we'll dive more into that today. Okay, 7 essential steps to get started. So this may vary depending on your email program or the stage in your email program where you feel most comfortable, or where your program is at. So we're going to go through a few of these. I tried to put them in chronological order. Again, this is my brain, so welcome to it, but we will go through it together. First and foremost, and regardless, this is the top most important priority. Define what your goals are. If you don't set that first and to begin with, you're gonna be sending e-blasts into the wind without getting anything back from them. So define your goal. What do you want to achieve with your email? What do you want to achieve with your email program? What do you want your customers to be able to achieve with whatever you're offering them? So sometimes your goal is different than your customers, probably often is. How are you going to help them solve for that problem through your emails? So keep that in mind. Rather, it's always something good to come back to, regardless of the campaign, regardless of where you're at. Define your goal, and it's like your North Star. You want to build an email list, obviously. You want that consent is key. You want those people who actually want to be engaged with your newsletters or your promotions or what have you. So you want to build a list, and you can do that through a form on your website. Share your form submission or form on socials. Get people who actually want to hear from you. Identify the type of content that will add value to your subscribers. Give the people what they want. And one size does not always fit all. So you need to give them, and we'll get down here for number 5, but identify what would mean the most to them. Of course, number 4, create your first email or your email template that you can use over and over again and tweak that already has your branding standards. We will show you a little bit about that later. Number 5 is target the right audience. Or right members of your audience. Notice I didn't say target your audience. Send. Target the right members of your audience. Like I said, one size does not fit all with email. What is applicable to me might not be applicable to you. So you just don't want to, create something and send it. Identify who of your audience would make the most sense for that message, and then they'll be the most engaged. You'll get better stats with that. 6, you're going to analyze your engagement to better understand what your audience wants, what's going on with your email program. And we'll kind of talk about this later as well. But then 7, you're going to use all those findings to optimize your strategy in the future. So, start all over. In other words, you're going to use everything above and start all over again. You're just going to keep iterating. Natalie, anything to add there?
No, I will say we had a question of, shouldn't you target your entire audience? And I think you're talking about really targeting content directly to the members of your audience, correct?
Yes, of course. And we can go into this. We'll go into this a little bit later with the segmentation that you're going to show. But it is, of course, you want to target your entire audience, but not everyone's going to have the same interests. So just keep that in mind depending on what you're messaging or what you're sending in that email. Okay, just a little refresh for everyone involved, if we don't know, if you're an email master or a novice, here we go. Just a few key components of an email that'll really get you to where you need to go. And when you are receiving requests from other departments and you say, hey, I need a sender name, sender email address, and a subject line and pre-header, they're not like, what is that? So most important things, sender name and sender email address. Those should be the most recognizable things to your audience. That is going to establish trust. So that they recognize it. It should be something that's close to your name. If you got an email from Julia Ritter at ABCDEFG and then it's Mailjet branded, that's a little confusing. You know what I mean? I would hit that as spam immediately. But if it's Julia at mailjet.com, more likely to open it probably, hopefully. Now you know who I am. Subject line is, of course, what is going to appear in the inbox. You can see it up here as well. This is a screenshot of our Mailjet newsletter for anyone interested. Your reply to address. This is key. You want something that is going to go to a mailbox so you can receive feedback from your customers, so that if they have questions in regards to your communication, they know where to go. What else do I want? Oh, the CTA. The CTA should be, which can be a button, can be a text link. Basically, like, what are you driving your audience toward? What are you trying to get them to do? Make sure that's not vague. If you're asking them to click on something, we're in a day and age where, spammers are everywhere. You want it to be clear what they're going to get once they click on that. So this email was about don't let the unsubscribes get you down, but you can build a new list, you can get more engagement, grow that list. I want you to create an email or create a subscription form to get more emails. So it's kind of, be cute about it, be vague about, or don't be vague about it, but just make sure it's clear. Unsubscribe link at the bottom or wherever you want. It's usually at the bottom. Give them an out. Give them a means to say, I don't want to receive this anymore. Or, even attach a preference center to it so they can say, I want your newsletters, but I don't want, your promotional sales emails or, vice versa. So there's a few different ways you can do that, but make sure that they have an out. Emily, any comments?
What's your favorite part of an email?
Oh, God. I love writing CTA button text, so I'll say that. I love it. It's so fun. But then, subject lines are sometimes hard for me. It's very interesting,
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite part?
I think it's the subject line. And
oh, okay.
I'm not an email marketer, so I read them more than I write them.
Yeah.
And there are some fun ones out there.
That's true. That's true. And that's good to keep in mind for email marketers. We are also email recipients. You know what you respond to. You know what you immediately hit delete on. So
yeah,
keep that in mind.
I mean, the best subject lines I've always seen have been on the Mailjet blog. So
thank you so much. She's just saying that to flatter me.
Those can be true.
Okay. We're going to go into a few different kind of campaigns to get you started. And again, sometimes you may have a welcome email already done, but it needs revamped. So this, like I said, no matter where you are in your stages of email program, it's always good to go back to the basics. So let's start with the welcome email. This is when someone signs up to your platform, signs up for your product, signs up for your newsletter. You are welcoming them to your audience, but you're not saying welcome to my audience, welcoming them to your community. You're setting the tone for your relationship. You're providing more product info, a promo code, any sort of incentive that if you want or to learn more or take action. It's a confirmation and more information. So I really like that phrase I came up with, actually. So take this Vimeo email, for example. Thanks to really good emails for always, keeping a library that we can take these emails from. Credit to them. This Vimeo email, you just signed up for the platform. They're saying, welcome. This is how you do it. Explore more. Upload a video. They're taking you right in there to get started. They're not wasting any time. Cool. Now, the double opt-in. This often comes probably around the same time. As soon as someone signs up for your newsletter, your platform, your product, whatever it may be. Again, this is an account confirmation, but this is more for you than it is for the recipient. This is saying to the recipient, confirm one more time that you want to be subscribed to this email list. Because a few different reasons. One, most importantly, is for you. You don't want anyone who doesn't click on this in your list. So you have two opt-ins as a double opt-in. First, when they submit their email address into your website. The second is when they click here. It's a double opt-in. Single opt-in would just be when they click or when they put their email into your website. Let's face it. There are spammers out there. There are people who just put in fake email addresses for the promo code. Natalie,
I've never done that. I've never done that. I've done that.
It's going to, no, we've all never done that. It's going to add fake email addresses or, invalid or anything to us. Sorry, what's that?
The undeliverables and
undeliverables. Yes, thank you.
What was I saying yesterday? If they don't want to be on your email list, go find less.
Go find less.
Go find less.
You know what I mean? If they don't want it, it's so true, Elise Myers. This is so that you get the most engaged users on your list and everyone else gets kicked off. And of course, you can leave it out in the open, give them the opportunity to end up clicking that to be on your list later. Maybe they don't see the double opt-in, but this is key for you. It's a great way to keep your email list clean, rid of those spammers, rid of those unengaged, and yeah, it's really, truly a lifesaver. And if you have any questions more about this, please put them in the Q&A. I know we have a lot to cover today, so I hope I'm not flying through too much, so please put them in the Q&A. The promotional emails. So this highlights a new product or content. It offers a promo code or incentive often, and it can be behavioral based or personalized based on your recipient's interests. So take this Warby Parker email, which of course I'm a big fan of Warby Parker. It's giving cancer season sunglasses, which is perfect. Cancer season falls in the sunniest times of the year for most of us. So, it's personal and it was probably sent, hopefully, to people who have a birthday in cancer season, which is kind of clever if you ask me. But so that could be behavioral based. It could be personalized on their risks or their interests. I know that I have been looking for sunglasses lately. Maybe that's what triggered the email. I would have loved a promo code in here, but because I need new glasses, but who wouldn't? And lastly, we have your newsletter. Doesn't this look familiar, everyone? So weird.
It kind of does.
I think I've seen this. If you haven't, we can subscribe to. And this is a great relationship building touch point. Your newsletter is just kind of a reminder to your audience of what you offer and who you are. What's new at your company? What's new in your world? It just gives them those updates directly to their inbox so they don't have to go searching for it. I use our newsletters as a great place for testing different topics to see what y'all are interested in. I test placement. Different content placements, subject lines. Again, this can be behavior-based or personalized based on everyone's interests. So
Mailjet has one of these newsletters too that people can subscribe to, right?
100% they do. 100%.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Absolutely. I think this is the most common thing that you will see. I know a lot of people showed interest that they are trying to establish newsletters. So again, if you have any specific questions about newsletters, please let us know. Okay, lastly, monitoring and optimizing your performance. So there's a few different ways to do this. Bear with me. Stats and analytics. So you have your delivery rate, your bounce rate, and I'm sorry, I should have put spam rate and engagement. But your delivery rate and your bounce rate have to do with your lists. So the more invalid, fake, undeliverable emails you have on your list, the lower your delivery rate is going to go down and the higher your bounce rate is going to go up. So your delivery rate, just to clarify, is the number of emails that have made it into the inbox. So let's say you have 100 emails. You send that to 100 recipients. 25 of those are going to be old, they're fake, they're no longer with the company. You're going to end up with the 75% delivery rate, and you want to get as close to 100 as possible. Conversely, your bounce rate is going to end up being close to that 25% because they could not make it to that inbox. Your bounce rate should be as low as possible. It should be just like your unsubscribe rate. So watch those two things because those both also have an impact on your reputation and your domain and IP health. Okay. Let's engagement. So of course you have your open rate, click rate, unsubscribe rate, and we'll add spam rate into here. I apologize again. So open rate, of course, is how many people open your email from your list. Thanks to Apple, this is kind of messy now. We don't really, we can't take it as a source of truth always. But it's okay. I still kind of look at it occasionally just to gauge. Whereas click rate, this is where I recommend to really look at your engagement. Click and unsubscribe. And by the way, these should always be unique. If you are looking at open and click rate and you're reporting, unique is better than total, because unique is if I click on an email one time, or 5 times, I should only be counted once, or else you're inflating your metrics and they won't add up. Unsubscribe rate, like we talked about before, very important. And I'm going to say it, I don't care if I get unsubscribes, because that means that unengaged people are getting off my list and my rates are going to go up. Otherwise, because it's actually going to be, I'm only targeting people who want to be there. So I know unsubscribes are not always the best, but there's a silver lining to them. And you want to keep your unsubscribe rate below 1%. I know that might be hard with smaller lists, might be disheartening, but just keep that in mind, under 1%. Your spam rate, that is people marking you as spam. So like I said before, if they don't recognize your sender email, if they don't recognize your sender name, they might mark you as spam. If they don't believe that they opted in for your messaging, watch that because that will shoot up. So just be careful of that. And again, that's going to impact your reputation. And that's not what we want. You want a good reputation, like Taylor Swift says. Feedback and responses. This is what we were talking about before with the reply to email address. We want an ability to get back to the sender, right? How many times have you received an email and you can't, when you go to reply, it's a no reply? How do you contact them? Then you have to go look for a support number. Then all of our email addresses, I can assure everyone here, have a reply to email address and it comes back to me. So, and then I will deliver it to the right place. So just keep that in mind when you are setting up your emails to have a good feedback loop. And of course, social chatter, we need to hear what's going on out there. So, put your social links in your emails so that they have a way to contact or to talk about you, to give you compliments, all that good stuff. Okay, it is time.
Okay, I'll hop over to the demo. I have been switching it over to this new machine. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to walk through high-level Mailjet demo.
And while you do that, I'm going to try to share this poll. Oops, sorry.
It's okay, go for it.
oh, wait, there we go. Okay, we're going to do a new poll of have you ever used Mailjet before as we go into this demo? So whenever you have a chance, go through that. Sorry, Natalie, keep going with your demo self. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and again had to switch computers last minute. So we are using the media player. Apologize for that. Okay, so we are going to start off our Mailjet demo on the dashboard, and we're going to hop into creating a contact list. So we can kind of go over some of the basics that Julia created. So you can see I'm just clicking that create contact list, and I'm going to give it a name just to jump off with. Next, I'm going to pick my source. I'm using a CSV for this. Mailjet will automatically match contact properties based on what I've created in my account. You can always edit them or change them once they're in there, but it does allow you to really get started and create that contact list quickly. Next, you're going to pinky promise me that you haven't purchased the list by clicking that I certify, and then just create the list. Creating contact lists really is that easy and should be that easy. We're going to hop into that contact list to see some of the options we have. As you can see, I have an excluded contact. That's because I uploaded a contact list with a user that was already on my excluded list. Mailjet will automatically exclude them if you add them to a contact list. I'm hopping into the customer journey here. You can kind of see the different information about a customer, what they've received, the contact lists they're on, and even the contact properties. Now from this screen, you can also delete a contact. But if you need to delete more than one to keep your list clean, you can go into our all contacts section. We have a lot of different ways to delete either a single or multiple. We're very careful about it to make sure you take deleting seriously. But this allows you to keep your list really clean and make sure you're reaching the correct users that want to be reached. I'm going to hop back to the Mailjet dashboard now. We have a lot of options on our dashboard, but today we will be creating a campaign next. So I'm going to hop into the My Campaigns workflow so that we can take a look. We'll create a campaign here. I do have all of my previously sent campaigns. And the first thing we're going to do is name our campaign. So this will be an internal name so that I can find it within Mailjet. Go ahead and name that Mailjet demo. And next up, we're going to pick that subject line. I mentioned it was my favorite. She mentioned it was really important. Julia, you're going to have to rate me on my subject line here. What do you think?
You know, I like the personalization. It's good. Good.
Okay. So I'm going to also pick a from. So who is it sending? Again, it needs to be recognizable. So I have verified my magical unicorn kittens domain. I'm also giving a separate reply to address. Now the reply to address can be the same, but we also give you the option to do a little bit different. I'm not going to design the email yet. I'm going to select the contact list. I'm going to pick the one that we just picked. As you're going to see, we do also have segmentation. We're not going to hop into depth on that today, but we do have a webinar coming up on that, right, Julia?
You bet we do. It is coming up on August 23rd, I believe, and we're talking about success with email lists.
Check that out. Verifying emails will also help you keep that list clean. We won't hop into it today, but another tool available to us. So I'm clicking in design emails. We have pre-built design templates that will let you kickstart your creativity. They're sectioned, so depending on what you're looking for, you can really go in for inspiration. We add throughout the year, so they are refreshed. Julia, what's your favorite template?
I do love our holiday templates that we did last year. The black and purple one like comes to mind. I think it's just because the not because
Yeah. Well, you can be biased too. I'm going to use a predefined one that I've already created, which is something you can do with Mailjet. And we're going to hop in to just designing our email. It is definitely very high level and lets you, as you hop in, it applies that template, but allows you to immediately get into the nitty gritty. So as you can see, I hopped right into selecting that image, have a lot of different options within that image or that section. I can copy it down right away. Again, really meant to be intuitive for you can get into that nitty gritty and make the email exactly how you want. things like adjusting the color, the font, the size of specific headlines. So many options available. You can see I'm just moving things around. This allows you to test out different content and see how it feels. Adding links very easily to your buttons and changing those styles throughout. We also have pre-built social links. This gives you an ability to reach out to your audience however they can reach you, giving them multiple avenues to see your brand. And again, really fine tuning those details throughout the email. So many different ways to customize the buttons, the columns, the margins, the paddings, depending on how deep you want to go into it. You can also add new sections. Again, it's drag and drop. So I'm going to add a column here. Once you add those columns, you can change how many columns are in them, the style of them, a lot of nitty-gritty options. Once you get that exactly how you want it, you can start picking what content you want to go into those sections. So dropping down to our content, you can see that I'm dragging and dropping different things. Here, CTAs are really important. So what do you think of my button?
No click here's. A PSA to everyone. Stop using click here. I'm not going to be nice about this. Stop using click here as a CTA text. It is most likely, it's a spam trigger, and it will cause your email to go to spam.
I fixed it. It says don't click here now.
Even worse.
I'm the product manager, not the email marketer. So I had to tease a little bit on that. I am adding a different image into a different section of the content. But again, really letting you choose those different styles. I'm just going to save that in there, but you can also edit your image within Mailjet. Again, even on images, you can adjust those paddings and everything. You can decide how the alignment works with these different columns when you change the column types to see where you want to position it so that you're not really messing around with dragging and dropping to the exact pixel. It just aligns it for you. This is meant to be intuitive and simple and easy, just as easy to delete as well as copy or save templates, move up and down, or just get rid of it if it's not vibing for you. I'm hopping into our global settings right now. These global settings are for the entire email, and it does make text editing or just the general look a lot easier. These are my favorite. I can pick a global style and it applies to everything. So I can really ensure consistency throughout the entire thing. This is a so important aspect of it because you really want to make sure that everything is aligned and consistent throughout your email. Julia, when you're creating the email, what's your favorite part to jump in on? What do you start with?
I usually start with text first, I think, and then move into images, which I know is interesting.
Yeah.
But I like to lay out the text first.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, once your email is perfect, you have to test it, right? We have to test. So Mailjet lets you send a test email to up to 10 people. We also have different options for testing. We have a client inbox testing. We're not going to get into that today. We will check out the desktop and the mobile testing. This lets you see what it's going to look like, make sure it's exactly how you want it to look before you send, and then you can get ready to send. So we have different options. You can save it as a template. You can save your campaign. Today, we're just going to send. Once we hop back into that workflow, you can see it lets you overview your entire message as well as the content, and you can choose to schedule it. We're not going to schedule today. We're just going to send. Julia, how you feeling?
If anyone else gets sender anxiety, I understand. I am here to support you. But all of these steps that we're talking about today are hopefully going to decrease that.
Once you've sent, don't worry, I sent all of them to myself. We can hop into campaign stats. I'm going to open an old one that I sent so we can actually see some stats since we just sent that one. But as we're looking at this, obviously we have a lot of options to check out how successful our campaign was. You can download, you can view the email, you can compare. You can check out the different statuses like non-delivery or activity, who clicked and where they clicked, what they unsubscribed. And I'm going to tell you, there's only one link in this email, so I can tell you where all the clicks are, and all the clicks were also me. But it really gives you the different options to check everything out and see how successful it was. I'm going to hop into global stats. This section really allows us to see our total stats, all of the campaigns. I would say 94% delivered rate is really good considering I have completely filled my inbox with testing emails directly to myself. This gives us all of our different statuses, so we can see what hard bounce, luckily nothing, as well as different queued if something is a larger message or things like that. So we can hop into the email campaign itself, the customers from here, and it gives us a lot of options. Mailjet also lets you compare campaigns. We're not going to do that today, but it is also a great way to see what's looking great for you. I'm hopping back onto our dashboard. I think that soft bounce was my, that the bottom there was my email box finally filling up. But this gives you an overview of those different stats on your most recent campaigns, so you can really see at a glance when you log in. So it's a very high level demo, but we have a lot of different variety and images in Mailjet to let you get in there and figure out email marketing, very intuitive and very easy. And so hopefully that helped you see what all we have going.
All right. So I'm going to bring back up.
Heck yeah. It's my favorite time of the day. Q&A. Q&A. Sorry, I had a little fist bump right there. New Jersey Shore fans in here. Anyway, before we get to all right, y'all. Okay, question time. I'm gonna see those questions in the Q&A tab, y'all. Throw it on the far right-hand side. It should be in the upper right-hand corner. Q&A, and up the ones that we are that we can stay pertinent and on topic for the webinar. All right, everyone. Let's take a look. Shall we? Okay. So one of the burning ones. People keep asking, is this gonna be recorded? It's gonna be sent to attendees. Yes, this is gonna be sent. The email I believe is gonna go out tomorrow, actually, due to our platform. But if you come back in 30 minutes, 30 minutes after this webinar is done, you can rewatch it right here. Tell your friends. All right, so moving on. Ooh, we want to talk about some CTAs here. CTAs. All right, Julia, this may be one for you, actually. Regarding writing CTAs, we've tried to jazz up our CTA text and tested this with standard text like find out more. And while the testing is in early stages, we find the standard ones actually get more clicks. Obviously, it varies depending on the content, but I wondered how extensively you've tested this, whether your findings differ.
Such a good question. Such a good point. So that, yeah, you have to test to see what your audience most resonates with. That is true for one of our brands loves the more, I don't want to say cutesy, but like creative, actionable CTAs, whereas another brand likes straight to the point, just give me the facts, tell me where I'm going, CTAs. And the same with body text and subject lines. So, with subject lines I've tested for this webinar, I said, join us on July 25th or for an email marketing webinar. And another one I said, unlocking the power of email, blah, 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 blah. And, one brand responded better to the strict one or the straight to the point one than the other one. So, it just depends on your audience. Test it out. Have fun with it. Never stop testing either, because it could change.
You heard it here first, y'all. Never stop testing. Never stop stopping. All right. Let's move on, shall we? So, here's another one, Julia. What is the industry standard for open rates and click rates? Now, I know there's not a given number, not a magic number, but what do you usually shoot for on that side?
Okay, this is going to sound like a roundabout way to answer this, but I don't believe in industry standards because each of us, while we're in an email industry, we are all doing different things. Like our emails are doing different things. Our audiences want different things. So I don't compare myself to industry standards, and I don't think you should either. I think you should look at what your emails were doing before and what they're doing now and where you can take them in the future. How were your open rates before Apple's privacy policy got introduced and where are they now? Click rates, how were they before you started A/B testing, like we were just CTAs, like we were just discussing, and where are they now? So it just depends on, again, like you're competing with yourself, if I'm putting it succinctly. But I wouldn't pay attention to industry standards because it's hard. And you also don't know when you see those industry standard reports, how big those audience lists are because they're reporting them by percentages. and it could be 100 people and then they get a 50% open rate or click rate, and that's not fair.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Moving down the line here. Let's see here. And I think, Natalie, let's take a look. Let's see so we can find some of these product questions in here. Okay. Natalie, are you able to see some of these as well, too?
Yeah, I've been looking through them. I think there's a lot of questions in the chat as well. So if you have questions about the product, make sure you throw them in the Q&A.
Let's see. Natalie, is there anyone that's burning that you've seen on here?
We have a few questions about how to save a contact list in the chat. I will address that real quick. There's a few ways to save contact lists. Obviously, building your contact list you can do through forms on Mailjet. Saving contact lists within Mailjet you can do directly, as I showed you, uploading it. You can also create contact lists directly from your all contacts section if you want to bulk upload. So there's a lot of different ways to create and save those contact lists on Mailjet. It just depends on how you're collecting those addresses, whether it's from a sign-up form or event you're going to. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. And if you have questions, let us know. We also have great documentation on those things on documentation.mailjet.com.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a lot of burning email marketing questions. I think we let Julia answer them all. As product, I used to be on the spot. I like being on the other side.
Oh my goodness. There's an HTML one on here I'm trying to find. Let's see. There's just so many in here. Where'd it go?
There's one about email camp. Are we going to have email camp this year? Oh, you bet.
Heck yeah, that's coming, y'all. That's coming in. That's coming. Keep your ear to the ground on that. Yours truly will be hosting again, so make sure to join. All right, let's answer another question here, shall we? Okay. So, I like this one. Evan wanted to know, should most emails, and y'all had some great examples on here, by the way, so let's give them a round of applause. We saw Vimeo, we saw lots of stuff in there, saw our own notes from the dev. But Evan wanted to know, should most emails be as short as seen in the example? How does this compare to an email that shows off multiple products? Julia?
Sure. I will say, so the emails I showed in this, I purposely chose short ones just so we can see them on the PowerPoint slide. However, again, this may be for your audience. What do they prefer? But in my mind, I like to see a short, sweet email so that you get the point above the fold. I don't know, that's an old term, but like above the fold of your email inbox. Like how far, don't make them scroll very far to get to the point. How does this compare to email that shows off multiple products? You could do different sections. And I'm sure we have a template that can help you achieve this, but you could do like one feature and then small sub features. We do that for the EOA newsletter. If you subscribe to that, you can see what I'm talking about. But just to get a couple different topics in front of them. So it just, you can have a bunch of content in there, but I would keep it kind of succinct then, your copy succinct so you can get, so that it's not like too much, you're not inundating, because the more content there is, the more confused people get of where to click, and sometimes they don't come back to the email to click on something else. So just keep that in mind. Again, test it. It might just be, what your audience prefers.
Never stop testing.
Yeah.
All right. Natalie, you want to talk about how amazing our GDPR compliance is for Mailjet?
Sure. I've been here responding to some of these questions. So Mailjet is originally a France company, and GDPR is top of mind for us internationally. We have a lot of different options like we were talking earlier, that unsubscribe link in the email is so important, allowing users to opt out. But also, if they want to be completely fully removed, they can obviously contact the sender or Mailjet directly. Or as a sender, you can contact us and we'll help you process that. We have that bulk delete so that you can upload lists of people who have asked to be completely forgotten. That will allow you to remove all contacts from your contact list completely, or you can put them in the exclusion list, depending on what their request is. Mailjet does automatically delete those after 30 days and within that 30-day compliance rate. So GDPR is top of mind for us. We're also ISO compliant, and it is something we are always considering as we're in there working with contacts and customer data. All of our hosting on emails and stuff is also in Europe, which helps.
Heck yeah. Love it, love it, love it. All right, all right. Okay, it looks like we got a few minutes here before we have to say goodbye to our wonderful presenters. We've got a few more questions. Here's another one. Petra wanted to know, what happens to soft balances? Sometimes they received, opened, or clicked, and suddenly it bounces once, twice. When do I remove them from my list? Julia, any best practice around that? How you feel?
Yeah. So usually your ESP will monitor that for you and it will turn it into a hard bounce. If you are not seeing that happening, maybe suppress them with a segment, just like wait a little bit, and then try to reintroduce them. You could also, I know this is manual, but if you were to look up, if you do use an inbox or a mailbox to get those replies, are they soft bouncing because they're no longer with the company, so that you should unsubscribe them, or you might get their out of office reply or something like that. So it just depends on soft bounces. I kind of like let them be a little bit more lenient because they're not like a hard bounce. A hard bounce, take those off, unsubscribe them. They don't need to be on your list, but soft bounce kind of need more monitoring.
And after a little while, you can always use email verifications to kind of clean up your list. So those are a really handy tool to figure out what is kind of undeliverable and known. And that is something available in Mailjet. Another shameless plug over from product here.
And here's another. How about this? Okay, so we've been talking a lot of I just lost the word, but a lot of speak from from the email industry. We were talking about ROI earlier. How about ESP? What's an ESP?
An email service provider.
There we go. There we go. An example of an ESP, y'all, would be our other company, Mailgun. So there you go. There you go. All right, y'all. Well, y'all, thank you so much. We've got about 5 minutes left here, but we want to wrap it up so we can make sure everyone gets their meetings, gets about their day, gets about, keep on moving. I got stuff I got to do. They got stuff they got to do. And you got stuff you got to do. Like all these wonderful, amazing things in email marketing. So we were talking earlier. We've got another one coming up for you real soon, next month, August 24th. It's going to be around 9 a.m. Central Time, our time. Maybe the evening for you, maybe the night, but hey, you should stop by and join us. It's going to be a good time no matter what. So Email Academy is successful strategies to increase your email list. So we were talking about some segmentation today and all that fun stuff. So we're going to keep talking about it. So yeah, we'll be talking about creating your first campaign, prepping for that holiday season. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. And there was a few people that may have done Christmas in July. So I'm ready for Halloween, though. I'm ready.
No.
Hey, I am ready. I don't know if y'all got to see Email Camp Nightmare from Email Camp a few years ago. That was a lot of fun. So I'm ready for Halloween. But also quick modification actually. The webinar is actually going to be August 23rd. We had a little typo on this, but
sorry.
August 23rd. It's not a big deal. Things happen. It's all right.
What is time?
Yeah, August 23rd. August 23rd. Correction our end. Yes. But yes. So keep a lookout for that, and we'll be coming to you live. Super excited about that. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by. Julia, Natalie, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us and teaching us everything that you know about email marketing. We hope to have you again soon. That's a possibility in the next one. Before we go, is there anything that you guys like to leave on last notes, where to follow along with your best practices or fun stuff like that, or submit feedback?
There's a few ways to submit feedback for Mailjet, the product. In the app, we also have a feedback, so feedback.mailjet.com. We love to hear your product thoughts. You can always reach out to us as well. Big thank you for everyone coming to today on our first inaugural, or not inaugural, first web series.
Yeah.
Maybe it's inaugural, who knows?
For Email Academy, it is.
Just getting started.
Just getting started. If you really want to hear from me, subscribe to my newsletters. Yeah, Mailjet, Mailgun, Email and Asset. And then you can always find me in Email Geeks, or I never look at Twitter, but I will if you really want me to. And you can also email me, of course, because I look at that the most, obviously.
I'm on Email Geeks as well.
There you go, too. Love it, love it. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Seabury Canary, and you can find me on Email Geeks as well, and also producer of also Megan Bushhausen Show, Notes from the Dev. You can also find that here. Here's a YouTube playlist. Also, if you're into deliverability, but the Notes from the Dev is highly for our email developers. So if you've got some email developers, make sure to check that show out. Also, any deliverability people in here, also make sure to listen to our podcast, Notes from the Dev. I also dropped a link for that too. Season 5 should be coming out to y'all after email camp. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see y'all down the road, and I will see you in a month for this second part of Email Academy. Everyone take care. We'll see you soon, all right?
Thank you.
Bye.